Tony D and Little Joan with Screenwriters Rant on Hilma, a story about a famous Swedish feminist, painter, spiritualist, a bunch of other things. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Piney. Speaking of South Jersey, I will be in Cherry Hill today. This is Thursday at 5 to 9 at the Mechanical Brewery in Cherry Hill. So come on out, bring your friends, and get yourself a copy of the Piney signed by me. I got all 10. Hope to see you there. Now, I don't know who this woman is. So, according to the write-up, the synopsis is the revolutionary Swedish artist and feminist pioneer Hilma af Klint. Hilma af Klint. So it goes through her whole life. I think her sister died at a young age, and she wanted to explore the world and know things. Instead, she became a painter, and then she faces misogyny. All the women's entrances in the back. Okay. Oh, look at this painting. You'd hardly know it was painted by a woman. Okay. And then she has a torrid love affair with a woman. And I don't know. She ends up getting involved in spiritualism, which I know a little bit about, at least in the American side. Yeah, it's pretty wacky. It's pretty wacky. It's about talking to the dead and seeing spirits, which you could understand since her sister died and she felt bad about that. I assume it's her sister, not her daughter. And then she decides she's going to paint the spirit world, or the things she sees, and then they say, oh, that's dangerous. And I expected like all sorts of ghosts and things that come out of the walls and attack her for doing her art. That didn't happen. It's not that kind of movie. And then, you know, the feminists show their paintings to men who go, I don't know. I don't know, bro. What do you think of this? I don't know. I guess it's a painting. You know. I know. It's terrible being a woman, isn't it? It's terrible being a woman in Sweden in, I don't know, the early 1900s. And then they go out to a barn and make their artwork there. I mean, look. Make your artwork. No one's stopping you. Now, maybe back then, sure. There were some antiquated notions that women couldn't do anything. I don't know. I don't know if they were totally off the mark, but sure, women can paint. They have a good eye for color. But as we've seen with comic books, they have too good of an eye for color. And they've ended up creating a bunch of comic books that nobody likes. Nobody likes. And they only did that by taking over the men's comic book and transforming them instead of doing their own, which is, yeah. You have to stand on your own 2 feet, ladies. And if you paint a lot of feminist art and other women don't support it, what do you want from us? What do you want from us? That's your audience. That is your audience. It's not men. Hey, fellas, what do you think of my art? It doesn't speak to me. I'm not a woman. Oh, damn it. You're a misogynist. No, you haven't painted art that appeals to men. You're using all these subtle colors that we actually can't even see that many subtle colors as you. And as terms of the spirituality stuff, you know, that was niche even back then, even when it was hot. So, you know, it looks interesting enough in terms of like some historic movie about a odd character, but it kind of looks a little boring because it portrays her as a great hero of some sort. I don't know. I don't know if that would be... I've never heard of her. Now, it doesn't mean she's not great, but, you know, her paintings, I guess they're okay. You know, they show the paintings in the trailer as if there's some sort of like, look at this. And I'm just like, I guess they're okay. I mean, they're certainly better than a lot of paintings now, but they don't look famous. Like, they didn't show me one and I went, oh, yeah, I've seen that painting. Like, if this had been Van Gogh, I would have been like, oh yeah, Starry Night. Yeah, this I just go, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know if this was the right tack to take to do this, but the filmmakers seem enamored by the historical figure and the time. So sure, I don't know if it speaks to a very wide audience. I would think it would speak to feminist. The lesbian romance might speak to lesbians. Um, beyond that, other than preaching, oh, these terrible men, they don't recognize their greatness. Like, who wants to see that? Who wants to see that? And quite frankly, this has been the burden of every great artist. They create something, no one sees it at that time, it's way ahead of their time, 9 times out of 10. And the artist, they die poor or struggling and no one never reaping the great benefits of their wonderful art. It's a and it doesn't even really go down that trail. She seems to have not a particularly harsh life and not a particularly bad life or rich life. I mean, she seems to be comfortable throughout the movie. There doesn't seem to be a war. That it's kind of a hard sell. Kind of a hard sell as a historical figure, I guess. Considering it at that time and place, it's not like she would have been drafted, right? It would have been like, oh, get behind the lines, hon. Yeah. This is why I think, a lot of historical figures, when they're men, especially in a time period like this, the stakes are higher, right? Because, they might be conscripted. In fact, they're usually in a war. They're like, oh, I survived the war. Now I'm going to write The Hobbit. I survived the war. Now I'm going to paint stuff. Oh, I lost a leg. I'm going to overcome that. Not seeing a lot of historical women figures doing that. Yeah. Just, and it's always framed the same way. Oh, it's the men. It's the men who stopped her. It's the men. Is there no other way to frame this? Maybe she stopped her. Maybe she's too busy making out with chicks to finish her paintings. I don't know. Madame Curie, I think she's got more of an interesting story. She irradiated herself, right? In the name of science. She didn't know. No one did. But her, I don't know. What'd she do? Sit around, go to class, do some paintings, and then get involved in a weird little feminist cult and make some more paintings and then blame the men for her problems. Yeah, I'm not seeing how that's a. Although it'd be interesting to contrast that with something in the modern day, and show how those patterns kind of don't go anywhere. That would be interesting. But I mean, look, I'm not knocking her as a historical figure. I don't know anything more than what I saw in the trailer. It's just the trailer looks kind of boring. Kind of just like a wine mom who made some cool paintings and gained some fame later on. And that's about it. Not sure why you'd make a movie about her. Doesn't seem like she didn't have kids, right? And she didn't have a torrid love affair. I mean, I guess you can count the lesbian one as a torrid love affair. But that doesn't seem very prominent in the trailer. She's just making out with a chick and then it's over. Didn't seem like there was any danger there. Like, oh no, you've kissed a woman, you're going to be kicked out of art school. Like something like that, some kind of drama. So I don't know. I guess this will just end up on A&E or being shown in some kind of class about feminism. I mean, it doesn't look poorly produced or anything. I'm not knocking the craft. Just I question the subject matter and maybe the focus. Doesn't seem to be anything but a straight up biopic of a historical figure that, I don't know, doesn't particularly seem all that interesting to me. So, unless, of course, you believe in spiritualism, then maybe. All right, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odyssey, BitChute, and Rumble for our more based takes. As if that one wasn't based enough. I'll be doing a Hollywood hot take and a news blast. I got to get ready for my signing at Mechanical Brewery in Cherry Hill, New Jersey from 5 to 9 today on Thursday, and we'll see you then.